guys, Jason here with a word to the wise. So, just wandering around and listening to some other videos and information, it hit me when I looked at the calendar and I saw that it's Washington's birthday. So then I started looking up the dollar bill and when it was created in Washington and trying to just get some info on him. Just seeing if there's any weird numerologies or something like that would pop out of it that would seem a little more obvious. But he was born February 11th in the Julian calendar before we all adopted the Gregorian calendar. Then they moved his birthday 11 days to the 22nd. Now, bear with me here. This is just a lot. So, the Declaration of Independence was 1776. That was also signed by the first, I think, one of the first creators of the American Masons lodges was Benjamin Franklin and all those other guys. George Washington also becoming a Master Mason. And then 13 years later, they form the first presidency, which 13, the number of rebellion. I wonder if they waited the 13 years on purpose and then did this. But then also seeing how they moved his birthday with whatever days they added or however that works. I haven't really looked that far into it, but moving it to the 22nd, just around that time of the Independence Declaration. But he was also made, when he was a Master Mason, he was also made a general. And then it's just weird, you know, I've seen some stuff on, what's the Babylon Tower builder guy? I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but how they supposedly were getting his remains out of Desert Storm. He was a mighty hunter in that day in Genesis. It escapes me at the moment. And then also looking at how I believe that Timepiece Country is looking for some sort of a fighter to come back for them, and this whole Pluto scenario is happening just on that exact same day. And George Washington was made a worshipful Master Mason, and he went to the 22nd Lodge of, I believe it was Frederickson in Virginia, making him a worshipful master of Alexandria. Oh, I want to say Hector, but I can't remember the guy's name now. But it just makes me wonder now, is there something that they are trying to resurrect in some sort of a way? Because I know seeing a lot of these Theology Ed videos, they're talking about doing away of Osiris and bringing of Horus, whichever one is the child of the Egyptian deities of that, you know, that whole scenario. I don't know. It's just really weird that all this kind of is all happening so soon in this weird kind of a timeline. And I mean, what evil would they think they're bringing down, or would be fighting for them? I don't know. This is just all weird. I don't know. I feel something is coming, possibly in the week. If it were to come, would it be them bringing back some sort of a leader of the world in this sense, with some sort of a, you know, their ceremonial resurrection or whatever it would be, but being that Horus or Osiris, and then also being the great hunter guy out of Genesis from the Tower of Babylon, and then also a George Washington leader general, because I believe, what was it, in some of those prophecies from that timepiece company, they're looking for two messiahs figures, man, and one is the Messiah of Joseph, and then the other one was, I think, Ben David. In that scenario, one to be for prosperity, I think, in the world, which you're looking at Pluto, it's also, he's like the god of wealth and fraternity or fertility or something like that. And then Ben David, I think, is the fighter that they want to come forth to fight for them in their land, to defend them from their enemies. I don't know, there's just a lot. I mean, I'd have to really kind of just see if something jumps out at me from somewhere else, but there's something weird about all this that is happening, and I think it's going to be a lot more than what we fully can understand until it is happening. I'll leave it at that. But I think that this 22nd 222, because I've also said, you know, that there's a lot they deal with in that 22, and it's like the tree of life has the 22 pathways. Now seeing that Washington was from the 22nd Lodge or whatever, that was his birthday, moved to the 22nd, February 2nd, the year 22. I don't know, there's just something weird going on with all this that I think could have something that could be a lot more than we can realize until it's happening, because these guys, I think, are gonna maybe, you know, be pulling something out in which direction. We won't know, I think, until it does happen, if it does happen. So I'll just leave it at that. Just a word to the wise guys.